am so glad that you guys are here. Wow, Kitty is also really excited for Vlogmas, aren't you? She's like, no, let me down. It's been recording the whole time. I've got this cute little thing in my hair though, see? Hey guys! Happy Vlogmas! It's day 3! So, I wanted to talk today about being flexible with yourself and your career and with your studies, because as you go into STEM fields in engineering, there's a lot of different avenues that you can take, a lot of different career pathways. So it's not like you're gonna go to school, you're gonna get the civil engineering degree, you'll be a civil engineer, then a mid-level civil engineer, and then a senior level, and then you'll retire. It's not like that anymore. There's so many different ways to move between companies and move between positions, and lots of different positions that you can use your background for, that it'll help give you a leg up to be in that career field. For me, it's civil engineering, but then I might not be doing traditional civil engineering. So I could be doing business development. So going out and selling what we do as a company to people, saying, hey, we've got this system and it could benefit a lot by having an aquifer storage and recovery system in order for you to help better manage drought, which might not be a technology that they know about, but could benefit them. And so me being a civil engineer and having that as my background, I'm able to do that business development really well. Or maybe I'm really good at managing people and program managing, or maybe I really want to be CEO. Heyo! And I can use my technical and problem solving and risk analyzing brain to figure out different challenges and tasks as CEO. So I think I was reading a statistic that of the female CEOs, 40% of them have a STEM background. So STEM is a really good avenue for you to take if you wanted to be in the C-suite or have one of those more executive positions. And I think that's really neat, especially because a lot of those people who have the STEM backgrounds, they started out being an entry-level engineer, or working for a government or a nonprofit and using their engineering background to get the job, but not necessarily continuing on with that for their entire life. So I had been to a some sort of workshop at Texas Conference for Women, and I had gone up to one of the panelists afterwards and asked her, because she leads the R&D department for Phillips 66, an oil and gas company, and her background was in chemical engineering. And so I asked her about advice and all this conflicting advice for young engineers about either digging into your technical expertise or widening the net and being more of a generalist and less of a specialist. So I went in and I talked to her afterwards, and she was saying, yeah, I did some self-discovery and realized that my interests weren't in just being a chemical engineer, and that will always be a part of me. And that really spoke to me, because even when you're not doing an engineering job, that's still a part of who you are. And I went through all of this schooling to be an engineer, and so I will always be an engineer, even if I am doing management role or business development or one of the other roles. So yeah, my advice is to be flexible, especially because I know that there's a lot of anxiety that's wrapped up in trying to figure out what you want to do, what's going to be fulfilling for you for the next 40 years of your life, and what career path to choose that will define who you are and what you do and who you hang out with and the places you work and where you spend 10 hours a day every single day for the rest of your working life. And there's a lot of stress with that, and I get it. But I think that trying to narrow in on what's going to make you really happy in 30 years right now in your life is only going to lead you down this path of mismanaged expectations, right? So even what I think I want to do in 20 years, in 6 months is going to be totally different. And every 6 months I look back and I think, oh, how'd I get here? And yeah, I was at a coffee with a woman from Girls Empowerment Network, and she said, you know, where do you want to be in 10 years? And I was like, I try not to think 1 year out, because if every time I try to make a plan like that, it never goes to plan. So I think in very small pieces. What do I want to do this week? What do I want to do in 6 months? And then how do I get back to that spot where I reevaluate where I am and what I want? And am I happy doing what I'm doing? Am I complacent doing what I'm doing? Is it fun, but there's another opportunity that I can seek? Or half the time, I'm chugging along, doing what I do, having a great time, working from home, traveling, and then an opportunity comes at me, or I see an email come across, and a lot of times I just straight archive those emails, but occasionally something will pique my interest, and I'll have to think, oh, what would I give up to go and do this opportunity? And it's always a struggle with me. Do you give something up that you really enjoy to go into this unknown? But I can tell you that every single time I've done that, I've gone and taken this other project and I wasn't quite sure, and I called 30 people and asked them their opinion. I've always really enjoyed it. And not just the people I've been with, I've always been very surprised about what I learned. And even if I thought I was going to a project that, oh, you know, it's field work, I've done this 1,000 times, I got this will be easy. You know, and maybe I take it just because I need to be out of the office and I want to go and travel for a couple days. Then when I get there, I always learn something, or I'm always very stricken by the people around me and the people I work with and how great they are and altruistic. And it's never been anything I've regretted. And I've found that you can always go back, right? So as long as you're not burning bridges, if you like something and you transition to another chapter and you realize, hey, this chapter's not really working out for me, people are always going to be like, yeah, come on back. You did this great. We loved having you here. So yeah, my advice is to be flexible with yourself. Allow yourself to take opportunities and to fail at those opportunities and go back to other opportunities, and not have your mindset on, oh, I'm going to be a civil engineer, or I'm going to be a biologist. Because what you have in your head at age 18 or 25 or 30, it's going to change, and it might not be congruent with what's available in the job market, or what's sustainable, or what's, what people are looking for, what customers are looking for, and what jobs are necessary. And so the more you can be agile and like move with the punches, I think the happier you'll be, and the less stressed out about something that you can't control and you can't predict, and you can just enjoy it a little bit more. So yeah, that's my advice. Happy Vlogmas. I will see you guys tomorrow.